Tom Barrack Jr. is the founder and executive chairman of Colony Capital. He's an early supporter of the Trump campaign. He talked about his long relationship with the president-elect at the Republican National Convention.
I'm telling you, after 35 years of being with a man through the valleys and up the mountains, he really is better than the billing that you see. Just as an administrator, as an executive, as a guy who can actually take care of the people that work for him and build teams.
Tom Barrack served in President Ronald Reagan's administration as Deputy Undersecretary of the Department of Interior. He joins us now live from Los Angeles. Good to see you, Mr. Barrack.
Good morning. Great to be with you.
All right. You're a longtime friend and supporter of Donald Trump. You have said that a President Trump will be very different than the candidate Trump. What do you mean by that?
Well, what you've had for really the last 2 years was Donald Trump, the candidate, which I analogize to a UFC fight in an octagon of a martial artist who has to use whatever tools necessary to convey a very disruptive message, right? I mean, he's really the Uber of the presidency. And now that's over, you're going to see him return to Trump the president. And you have a man who has built a life on consensus, on conciliation, on compromise, on getting things done. And I think his detractors are going to be shocked about how good he is. And I think that the first task he has at hand is healing the nation.
Can he do that? Can he do that, Tom Barrack? Can he do that?
Absolutely. And I think you've seen it start. It started with his speech. It started with reaching out to Nancy Pelosi. It started with his conversations yesterday with world leaders. And you're going to see a softer, kinder, I've said this before and people have thought I'm out of my mind, that he's kind, he's soft, he's sympathetic, he's compassionate. And all of those tools can now come to play because he actually is the president-elect. So I think you're going to see all of these harsh angles, the idea of building a wall. He'll build a wall, but he'll build walls of understanding. And the harsh policies that people are fearful with can only be addressed in tiny little inches of consensus amongst Congress, the Senate, and the people.
So
I think he'll be great.
You think it was largely campaign rhetoric? You don't think he'll follow through with that?
No, I think it has nothing to do with campaign rhetoric. Okay. It's touching the heart of the people on issues that concern them. But remember, this isn't a dictatorship. It's a presidency, and he has to advise and consent in a compromise and consensus setting. So nothing is going to happen abruptly, and I think the financial markets showed that. You know, we started down yesterday morning on concern, and we ended up.
Yeah. A lot of people think, Tom, that to begin that healing process, he'll have to reach across the aisle. Do you see him doing it?
Yeah, 1,000%. And look, there's nobody better at doing that than him. If you look at everything that he's done in his life, you know, building and developing in a place like New York City, when you look at all of the regulatory hurdles, when you look at all of the environmental hurdles, when you look at the unions, the contractors, the tenants, there's nobody better at doing this. He just found a fissure in America of unrest that launched him into this position. Now I think you're going to see his desire to be the best and most appreciated president of the United States that we've seen.
Tom,
and he'll do it.
Donald Trump's tax plan includes reducing the tax rate for richest Americans from 40 to 33%, corporate tax reform. Do you think that happens in the first year of his term, that the tax code will get replaced?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I've had the privilege of sitting as a senior advisor on his financial team. Tax code now is 77,000 pages. It's impossible to predict. And what's happened is the offshoring by corporate America has been immense. So the tax code, in addition to fiscal policy and stimulus, and importing back that capital that we've lost and making it simpler for corporations to invest, investment tax credits, is the key to increasing revenue.
So what do you think, Tom, when you see the protests in the street, really nationwide across the country? It's not just a couple of protests. What do you think when you see people who are angry, who are afraid, and who just think that America got it wrong? What do you say to them and your thoughts about what you're seeing on TV?
I say, God bless America. Thank God we're in a country where they can do that. They can do it responsibly, and I understand it. Look, everybody was so emotionally invested in these two camps. But remember, we've had a Clinton or a Bush administration since 1980. So what you're feeling is the same way the taxi cabs and the limousines felt with Uber. When Uber came in, there were riots in the street from the regulators, from the taxis, from the limousines. Nobody understood it. And today, Uber is the flavor of the month. It's fine. You can respond, you can be upset, you can be conciliatory, and then we gather together as America, as one team behind a president, and we march with different views.
Rumors are that you'll be offered a Treasury of Secretary position. What do you say, Mr. Barrack?
Oh, you know, we really can't talk about those things.
Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
Would you want it? If the phone call comes, do you want it?
No, you know, I have a very difficult time just doing the job within the area codes that I know. That's a big
So
responsibility.
you will respectfully decline?
I will not really be very interested, and I'll do anything I can to help the nation and the president-elect.
Tom Barrack, thank you for joining us this morning. We appreciate it.
Thanks so much. Appreciate it.